On G Live, boy, your ass stupid. Thick bitch, don't smoke weed, but you smoking hookah. I block a ugly bitch if she ask me what I'm doing. Uncle Ruckus taught me how to fuck, I hate a nigga. Hoes be friendly than a motherfucker, I hate bitches. This rap shit that got me hotter than a transmission. I know a nigga shooting for some bridges like he Ben Simmons. That hoe don't even clean the house, she a rapper that my own mother. So
YouTube, what up? Hey, right now we got what they won't tell you about Bronny James. And this comes from the YouTube channel that I'm a fan of, Mike Korzimba. I don't know how to really pronounce his his last name, so I'm just gonna say white boy Mike. And Bronny James, he finna be a junior, and from what I'm seeing, he's more aggressive. Finally, hopefully, he's coming back out, and he's off he's on a minutes restriction as well, so you got to keep an eye on that. But from what I've been seeing, like the little clips, he's been more aggressive. I'm here for it. I think that's the only thing that's really holding him back. It's just his aggressiveness. The only thing that's holding himself back, the only thing that's holding him back is himself. Now, I've been feeling like this since his freshman year, and I'm glad that he went to Sierra Canyon, so he got to earn for what he needs, to get that kind of like that spoiledness off of him, even though he's still spoiled, but give him that hunger that he needs. And hopefully he'll put it together, like he'll show some more promise this year, So, because, man, he a junior now. Like, he's about to be 17 if he ain't already, and you gonna have to turn it up, Like, your junior year is probably one of your most important years, This is where you gotta make your statement. This is when you gotta go to AAU and kill it, like, straight up kill it, But, do y'all think he really gonna go to the league, though? Y'all let me know. I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see.
27 points in the opening frame. Here's a steal by LeBron. Here comes a show. James with the throwdown.
What comprises the Antelope Valley? It's where Paul George is from. Palmdale. There's Bronny James for three.
Now down to 10 seconds left. James for the tie. Got him all.
And y'all know my nigga white boy Mike can like, what I want to say, put up some players, like hype them up, like extremely high, like hype them up to the point you think they finna be a superstar, transitional talent. He did Lonzo Ball. He did a player that I'm really a fan of, that I still want to be a star in the league, Markelle Fultz. He did, who else he did? He did somebody else like that. Like, he's able to hype somebody up to the extreme.
He's probably going to be compared to LeBron James, but you probably already know that. What you might not know is that a few weeks ago, Bronny began playing his junior year of high school, and I'm gonna be honest here. This is a huge season for him, because as of right now, we have heard both sides of the argument. Some say Bronny is completely overrated and that he will never play in the NBA with his dad, while others, well, they say the complete opposite. And the thing is, I feel like we need to talk about something that no one else is really saying about Bronny to really get the full picture here. So that's what we're gonna do. What's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are talking about Bronny James and his NBA future, because I've got to say, since his junior season has started, a lot of things have changed. And like I mentioned before, I do really want to talk about something specifically with Bronny. I feel like no one's really mentioning it, but I do think it's incredibly important. So as always, guys, just make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. PS5/Xbox Series X giveaway will be announced this Thursday. With that said, moving forward, before we get into what nobody is talking about, first, I think we have to have a real conversation about Bronny's junior season so far and what it means for his future going forward. That means we're gonna take the kid gloves off and get real. We're gonna look at Bronny as a prospect just based on how he's played recently, no matter who his dad is. And yes, Bronny did tear his meniscus in February of 2021, but he's since come back. He's played AAU ball over the summer, and by all accounts, he is healthy. He is throwing down windmills with his head near the rim, so I would say he's doing just fine. With that in mind, I did go back and look at every single game that Bronny has played so far this season, and here have been the results. Please remember, high school stats are tough to track down at times, so we did the best we could. Anyway, in game 1, we had a complete blowout with Sierra Canyon, Bronny's team, winning by the score of 72-19. Now, in this game, Bronny had 10 points, but what really stood out to me was his hustle, his ability on the defensive end, and his basketball IQ. We're gonna get
he getting a little swole now.
5 games that he's played, but I do want to point out that already Bronny is a pest on defense, and that is awesome to see.
But before we continue, guys, I'm
All right, yeah, we're gonna skip that.
Worked with a long time. SeatGeek is back in spot.
Where they see defense as beneath him. In fact, Bronny appears to have the complete opposite mentality. So moving forward, we do find in Sierra Canyon's second game, Bronny had just 6 points according to the highlights of this game, and then for game 3, we find that Bronny scored 5 points in a close win. Game 4, he also had 5 points and 4 assists, and then game 5, we had more of the same, except this time in a close loss. Bronny ended with 8 points and 3 assists. That means currently as it stands, Bronny is averaging only around 7 points per game, but I will say that those numbers definitely do not tell the whole story, because like I mentioned, it is hard to get accurate high school stats. It's hard to see things such as steals, blocks, even assists are hard to come by. However, with that in mind, looking at this game tape and taking into account that Amari Bailey, the number 4 senior in the nation according to ESPN.com, is not playing right now, well, personally, I think that 2 truths emerge. And the first truth, and this is a strong one, is that unless he grows something like 5 inches, it simply does not look like Bronny is a future NBA superstar, and it certainly does not look like Bronny is going to approach LeBron's level of play. During his junior season in high school, LeBron averaged 29 points, 8 points.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
7 assists,
And that's what made me realize, like, yeah, we ain't never gonna see nothing like LeBron ever again. Like, you know, I'm a Kobe fan, so it's always been LeBron versus Kobe. But I had to I realized, like, bro, what LeBron was doing in high school versus what, like, that shit not normal. It's not normal at all, bro. That nigga was the number, like his team, unknown, bro. He made an unknown high school program in Akron, Ohio, and made them the number 1 team in the nation. And he became a number 1 pick out of high school and turned into arguably the 2nd greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of shit is that, fam? So we gotta stop having these huge expectations for these players, bro. And he's right, bro. I thought Bronny would have been at least 6'6" right now, damn near about to approach 6'7" type shit. But he might not, you know what I'm saying, get the straight up.
3.3 steals per game, and also became the first junior ever to win the Gatorade National Player of the Year award. LeBron was, by any definition, not only talented, but generationally talented. The same cannot be said for Bronny, but that's okay. Bronny isn't averaging even 10 points a game this season, let alone close to 30, but to Bronny, that is not the goal. And it's at this point in the video,
yes, it is,
about what nobody's talking about, and it's this. Bronny James has been put in a near impossible situation and is absolutely thriving in a very difficult environment. Sure, as of right now, he is not a top recruit. He is not on his way to becoming an NBA star, but that's fine, because the way Bronny and his dad have approached Bronny's career so far, to me, it looks like they are setting him up to become a very high-level role player. Yes, that means that in my opinion right now, Bronny's on track to be a starter level to bench level player in the NBA, just based on what we've seen. And what we've seen is Bronny choose a winning program in Sierra Canyon when choosing a high school. He very easily could have gone to another private school where he was the absolute star. However, Sierra Canyon is currently ranked number 1 in the nation. They have tons of top recruits. They have tons of guys that are going to be playing at a high Division I level, if not the NBA itself. And so in this environment, Bronny is learning what it's like to play with other very high level players. On defense, he puts his head down. He tries as hard as he can. He is a pest on the defensive end. And then on offense, he uses his superior basketball IQ. He uses his shooting, he uses his athleticism to help his team when they need it. So sure, he has not emerged as a future NBA star, but that's not to say that Bronny doesn't still have the chance to make a good impact in the NBA. And so with that, guys, we have...
let's keep it real, y'all. That's not what we want. As far as the fans, even if you're a top-notch LeBron fan, you want his son to be a star in high school, man. Like, come on, at least in high school, like, you gotta be that dog, you gotta be the man, you gotta be that nigga, bro. Like, I understand completely what white boy Mike is saying, but come on now, you gotta be come on, bro, you gotta be an absolute stud in high school. You know, everybody in the NBA, bro, in high school, that was the man. They was averaging 20 points a game. Like, come on now. Come on
First
now.
truth. As it stands right now, Bronny is not on the path to become a superstar and instead is on the path to become an NBA role player. As for our second truth, well, here's something else that many people do not speak about, and that is the rule, and I say rule in quotes, of being an NBA player's son. Because as it stands right now, according to NBA history, according to everything that has come before us, the rule of the NBA player's son states that if you have an all-time NBA player as a dad, I'm talking the best of the best, guys that are considered top 50 to top 75 players or better, well then you as a son have no chance of being better than your father. You can look it up. Out of all of the players on the NBA's top 75 list, not a single player on that list's son was better than him. Yes, for sure we've seen guys like Del Curry and Michael Thompson have sons that are much better than them, but they as dads weren't all-time players. All-time players like John Stockton, Gary Payton, and Bill Walton, they have sons that might make the league but certainly are not stars. The closest is Arvydas Sabonis, who is a Hall of
Hey, to be fair, it's too early for Gary Payton the second. It's too early for him.
Famer and whose son Demonis is a two-time All-Star, but unfortunately Arvydas played in the NBA in his 30s and was never named an NBA All-Star himself. And so to me, there has to be something here, because with certain sons, the physical tools have been there. Michael Jordan's sons never sniffed the NBA, but both of them had 40-inch verticals and played Division I basketball. Plenty of sons do inherit some of their father's skills. We've seen that with Bronny. He has incredible athleticism and incredible basketball IQ. But on top of that, those same sons inherit a life of pressure and luck. Luxury. And for whatever reason, kids who have role players as dads are able to live in luxury without needing to make the league like their fathers before them.
And then that nigga be playing the game and shit. Like, he got a whole gaming channel. That nigga made the Sports Illustrated off a game. You know what I'm saying? So that should kind of let you know where his head at. You know what I'm saying? Cause LeBron, bro, that nigga was in the gutter. Like, he was trying to make it. Like, he was, you know, single parent home. You know, he wasn't staying with his moms. Like, he had a lot of shit on his plate. He had a lot of shit to work for. He had that hunger. He had that. Even though he was even though he's a passive basketball player, he knew that he had to kill. If you understand what I'm saying, that's why I can't stand when folks be like, LeBron ain't a scorer. He's a pass first, bro. He is a scorer, fan. He's a scorer that can pass the fuck out the ball. You know what I'm saying? If he couldn't score, he wouldn't be almost. He wouldn't have the potential to beat the all-time scoring record. Like, come on now, y'all. Come on now.
But he also wouldn't have the pressure to be the absolute
I don't like when
best
folks be
player
saying
of
that.
all time. And so personally, when I take away the LeBron James comparison, when I see Bronny as just a basketball prospect, I do find that his tenacity on defense, his high basketball IQ, his borderline incredible athleticism as he continues to grow, all of those skills will translate to a very high Division I level and to the NBA level. Again, if Bronny grows something like 5 inches, then sure, he still will have star potential. But if that does not happen, well then I just think we need to throw the LeBron James comparison out and let Bronny continue to do his own thing. Let Bronny continue to pave his own path to the NBA, because what he's been doing with the amount of pressure he's under is nothing short of remarkable. So there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's true. Cause you gotta realize, like, when he first tried to dunk in the game, y'all remember that when he first tried to dunk in the game, how everybody was hype, like, he finna be crazy when he get to high school. That woo. So, you know, it is what it is. But if you like videos like this, just make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support. And I'm out of here, bro.